Oh, jeez, that scared me. Look, look, it's a creature. You see him? All right, let's go up to the next one and take a quick peek at that. Okay, off we go. Had to get my pack. That's a pretty big tree right there, so this might have been wooded at the time. There's some big ones down here, I'll show you. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera off. If I see anything really cool, there's an animal trail, look at this. He's coming out of the house and going down here for some reason. Might be a cave down here. All right, we'll explore that some other time because it's gonna be dark soon. We're going right up on that hill. See you in a minute. Hold your breath. Won't be long. Slightly out of breath, but we've come to the second structure I wanted to explore with you. This has another story, another interesting story, quite different than that one. Also has 2 cisterns full of water. Out of breath. When you first look at this place, you see a lot of trash. You know, tractor tires and truck tires and plumbing fixtures. So it's been used as a dump for quite a while. I mean, this even looks like it's probably just a little chicken coop. You know, there's really not much to it, but it tells a really interesting story. And part of it is written right here. You see anything? Do ya? Let me set my pack down, I'll get right back with you. So just looking at this little shed here, you would think that it's not very old. This site's not very old. But there's some clues on the ground that tells a different story. It's not just a modern junk pile. Let's go ahead and go inside first, and then I'll tell you about the clues. All right. Hopefully there's no critters in here. That rabbit kind of freaked me out. Hope you guys saw it. Yeah, it looks like somebody put that in there for an animal, maybe. Maybe it was an old cat house up here or something. This is put together with, I don't know if those are really round or not. But you can see it's pegged. It's got all these pegs, so this might have been used from a different building at one time. Those are all square nails, so it might have been reused. But look at these big logs right here with square nails in them. Those are old for sure. Let's go around and look over here. There's some brick. I have a bunch of these barrels like that with the tops cut open for cat shelters in the woods. So, ooh, look at those mushrooms! Look, there's a nice big hole there, groundhog hole. I'm looking for stuff he dug up, some bricks. I think those mushrooms are edible when they're young, so we might come back here in another month or two and see if we can find some we can eat. But I have to check to make sure they're edible first. Oh, look at a piece of coal down here. So whoever lived here heated with coal at one point. That's coal, which is not natural to this area. But look at the shed from this side. Looks almost like an old pig. Oh, look at the bars. That's weird. I wonder what they were keeping in there with bars like that. Those are old, big heavy timbers. There might be some treasures in there, but we're not going to look today. You know what's over here? Ooh, oh, looky, that's a cool trough. I have one just like it at the house with bullets, full of bullets. I like the wooden one too. It's pretty. We have to talk to the property owner, see if he can give those up. Somebody had this little door they made. Yeah, those bars are really kind of weird. What we're going to do is... I smell something dead. I hope it's not human. I know you guys can't smell it, but I sure can. See which way the wind's blowing. It's coming this way, so whatever it is probably down there. Probably a cow. I hear the cows out there. All right, let me show you some what I'm looking at to think that this place is actually much older than it first appears. First thing I notice is this big hole right here, okay? Now, my first thought is that it's a cistern because it's round. See how it's round? And if you look right there, you can see the stones, or the bricks rather, or stones, whatever they are. We'll go look, won't we? Yeah, so this is a round, and it had the bricks right there, and you can see how there's a mortar on them. So this is a cistern, just like the one Keith and I dug out a few weeks ago. So that tells me right there that there was a house here. It wasn't just this little shed. They didn't build this for a little shed. So there's definitely a house here, and I'm going to show you where it's at. Let's go look. I wonder if that's old. It probably doesn't look too old, does it? But you see all the bricks? I'm surprised there's not anything like really cool. But yeah, so there's a pile of bricks here. And what that is to me, what I think it is that's a chimney pile. There was a chimney that stood here at one time, and this is where it fell over. Those are old bricks. And I think that this is actually the cellar to the house. Unfortunately, it's been filled in with trash, very modern trash. But to me, this looks like it's probably pre-Civil War, this whole setup here. Because those bricks are super old. I see some limestone rocks there, but yeah, so the house would have sat, right in here. That's the foundation, and there was a chimney. And I'm going to show you those cisterns next, which are really spooky. Now, like I said, I was here not too long ago doing a very brief survey here, and that's when we found these cisterns. And we kind of covered them up as best we could in just a little bit of time that we had. So there's some logs across them, but when we first found them, they were wide open. First, let me show you this. This is slag from burning coal. So they were heating with coal here. I'm really surprised it's not old. Oh, that's old. That's an old inkwell. Look at that. Wow. That's an oldie right there. Oh, too bad it's broken. Sweet. It's an old blue inkwell. This will definitely be worth coming back and digging around. That's an old one. That's Civil War era probably. Let's go ahead and down here. I want to show you what I think is the barn. Wow, it really reeks down here. Hope it's not something in that cistern. All right. So I believe this is probably the barn, okay? And it was worked on and kept up not that long ago, I believe, because if you look, you can see this concrete right there, and that is not something that they would have been using like in the earlier 1800s. So there's a barn here, and they fixed it up. That's probably where they came in. Very typical to find them full of barbed or wire, rolls of wire. It's a good place for the farmers to dump it where it was out of the way. Yeah, wow, it stinks here. Wow. I'm very curious to see what that is. You can see the stone wall over here going around. Goes around that way, over to there. And one of the cisterns is up here. Let's see if there's any old bottles. See any old bottles in there? I don't. Yeah, okay. Yeah, over here is one of the cisterns. But when we first got here, it was wide open. And I'm going to drop a camera down in here later on. So let's take a peek. What do you say? See, it's round just like the one at the house. Oh, that's nasty looking. Yeah, that's definitely a floater down there. There's an animal in it. At least one. There's another one. That's a possum. Poor thing. There's another, yeah, that's a possum. Whew, that reeks too. I'll try to cover that up a little bit better, but when we first came out, that was completely open. And surprisingly, there's actually another cistern right behind me. We're gonna go over and look at it too. I feel so bad about that. At least we got some logs on it now. Somewhere over in here. Look how big that tree is. Yeah, that was probably a couple hundred years old. Oh, there's a dead cow. Yeah, we won't go down there and look at it, but looks like a cow graveyard down there. If you look, there's a dead one and a bunch of bones. I'm gonna go look at it right now, but I'm not gonna film it because it's gonna be really disgusting, I can tell. But I have to go see what it is. Then I'll show you that cistern. I'm gonna go ahead and spare you the horror of the cow graveyard. There's two of them that are just repulsively disgusting, and there's a lot of bones. So obviously the farmer is dragging the dead ones back here in the corner and just letting them rot away, which, I guess is fine. Probably not legal, but At least it's going back to Mother Earth. All right, we're back up in the vicinity of the house. Let's check out these mushrooms real quick. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can eat these. Not now, but later maybe. We'll come back in another month or two after good rain. Let's step over this fence wherever we can safely. And I don't know. I know there's another cistern here because we saw it. We covered it up, but I don't even see it now. That's that groundhog hole we looked at. Isn't that weird? I know there's one here. We must have done a really good job covering it because I don't see it. That is so... Oh, you know what? I think it was down by the barn. I think there were two down by the barn. So let's go back down here and look again. There's another big chunk of coal here. A lot of times if you look in these chunks of coal, sometimes you can find fossils, which are pretty cool. And this is burn coal. The slag that I was showing you. That's not coke, but that's slag from when they had it in probably a fireplace. When I say fireplace, I actually mean wood stove, which I guess was a coal stove, like a potbelly coal stove. All right, down here is another. Oh, there it is. I see it. I almost fell in that a few minutes ago when we were down here. Whew, because we walked all over. I wonder what that thing is. Does it go down? Does it? Not very deep. I bet it had something to do with the cistern though. Somebody's initials. Can't really make that out. But anyway, here's a cistern. I put a piece of a tin on it. Well, I guess that's an old watering trough or feed trough for hogs. And this one is super scary too. You know, if a person fell down there, they would never get out. Let me go ahead and grab the flashlight and we'll take a peek. It's actually starting to get kind of darkish. Hope we have time to drop the cameras down in there and the magnets. All right, let's take a peek at this one. I have not looked down in here with the... Oh, that's disgusting. You know what? I think it's the bottom though. So we're not really gonna have to do a video. I might not do I'm not gonna do a video on this one, I don't think. At all. Wait. Yeah, there's the pipe over there. Going down. I don't see any dead critters. I suspect that's the bottom right there, so there's really not much to see. We might drop a magnet in there though, just to see if there's any guns down there or cannonballs. There's a dead critter. That's a dead critter of some sort right there. I don't know what it is, small. Okay, so I'm gonna go look at that other cistern that had the dead animals in it one more time, and well, I'll have to decide whether or not I want to drop my camera in it because, of course, it's gonna be covered with animal juice, so, and it really does stink. It smells bad. Let's go look at it and decide together. I'm going to cover this back up as soon as we finish with this other thing. Okay, I went ahead and moved the logs off of it so we can get a better look. Just a quick warning for you. I know that there's at least one dead possum in here and possibly something else. But we're going to have to look in there because I need to know, and I know a lot of you guys want to see it too. And it is a good lesson about covering stuff like this up and being very careful in the woods or the fields even when you're walking around, because I've seen these things open in the middle of fields before too. So maybe it's a good life lesson for you kids. All right, let's take a peek. Let's see what's down here. Oh God, it's disgusting. I don't know how deep this one is either. There's something dead right there. That's probably a possum. There's definitely a possum there. It looks kind of like a rat, but that's what it is. I'm not going to drop a camera in there. I'm checking it out at this point because it's just too disgusting and it really stinks. Okay, so... that's horrible. I'm still looking. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get these things covered up. Both of them are really good. I'm not gonna drop my camera or a magnet in there. Because of course that one's real shallow, I can see the bottom. This one has too many dead animals in it and it really stinks. So I'm gonna do that. We'll go back up, look at the house one more time, make sure there's nothing that we missed. And that's gonna be it. So just hang on just for a couple more minutes. Okay, so I got this one covered up pretty good. But I also put this old locust tree down in there, and that goes all the way to the bottom, so pretty much anything that falls in there can get out, like a possum or a raccoon or something. I mean, a deer couldn't get out of there, but at least those possums can climb out now if they were still alive. Sorry about that. Let's go do the same thing to the other one. So I did the same thing with this. I found a great big locust tree and dropped it down in there. Those are very slow to rot, so that's probably going to last like 10, 20 years at least. So if the property owner, who is an absentee owner, doesn't come out and fill them in, at least for the next 2 decades, possums can crawl out. I'll put that tin over it. I'll probably come back here metal detecting one day, and I'll put some more stuff on it. One last look at the house, and we'll call it a day. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. There's a couple things I found when I was just looking around briefly here. I want to show you that were interesting. And, well, here they are. Of course, I showed you coal. That's a big old chunk of coal. And, you know, it's not from around here naturally, but there was something, oh yeah, over here. I saw this stone when we were down in the cistern right there looking. I couldn't figure out what it was because it's rounded like that. So I started looking at it, and it dawned on me, this is a big grindstone, you know, that would go around and around. And they could, you know, sharpen stuff on them, like, you know, sickles and scythes and knives and swords and whatnot. But you can see how it's notched out right here. This would have been a square notch where like a little axle thing would have gone in there, so it wouldn't spin on itself. It would be square, so it could spin this thing. And back in the day, that's how they sharpened their knives and stuff. Over here, there's a couple little things of interest I gathered up. First thing was this old bottle. I'm not sure how old it is. It says Doc, it looks like DR period SBH and Company PR. So I like to look that up maybe when I get home. See how old that is. That kind of helped date it. Old milk bottle. This would have been an awesome milk bottle had it not been broken. Cress Farm Dairy. I don't know if that's a local dairy or not. There's really no other markings. I wanted to show you this too. This is a battery core. This is like a carbon core that, you know, would be in, well, batteries, in the old-time batteries. People find these a lot when they're metal detecting because they actually do give a signal, but it's just carbon. I'm going to break it so you can see what's inside, but it's just pure carbon, but it gives a signal on a metal detector. And they're kind of light too. That's another way you can tell what they are. This to me looks almost like a headstone of some sort, and I'm not convinced it's not. That this, you know, I don't know though. I don't see any writing on it, but I tell you, I'm suspicious about that one right there. I've seen a lot of headstones that look just like that. So maybe there's a graveyard nearby. Well, it probably is a graveyard nearby, but I don't know of any. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the video of exploring this house. Well, in the cisterns and the other house. I'm going to break them up into a couple videos, especially the cistern ones, since they're a little bit gross. Well, I guess you've already watched them, haven't you? Yeah, you've already watched them, so you know. All right, so I'm gonna head out and we'll try again tomorrow. It's supposed to be super windy, so I don't know if we're gonna be able to do any videos, but I'll do some exploring and we'll get ready for the next run. We'll see you then.